Hi, I'm Rosemary. This is me in
1972. 3 men stood in front of my high school class and told me something I thought I'd never hear. Canada has lost its independence. I knew I had to do something about it. Canada was my home, and I was going to fight for it. I was an idealist who was proud of my country. Service before self. That's what I signed up for when I joined the military. I was willing to die for my country. At least that's what I thought I'd be doing. It turns out I was the first woman allowed to go to a Canadian university under a military sponsorship when men were allowed 96 years before. I guess I should have known it wouldn't be perfect. I mean, a young woman surrounded by men who believe women shouldn't be there? As if that could turn out well. But it became more obvious when the kit looked like it was out of the 1950s, and I was stuck with a pair of old, ugly, black tie-up Oxfords and white gloves from World War II. We couldn't even wear combats because they didn't want us looking like men. In May 1973, I went out west to Chilliwack, BC for my basic officer training, or boot camp. I met many strong women that knew a lot more about the military than I did. There were 28 of us in my platoon. There were those attending university but also serving in the reserves, and those in their late 20s and 30s already with a degree. But because of how women were to be treated differently, our training officers didn't know what to do with us. The men had all the fun. They could use the obstacle course, rappel down cliffs, and we were just stuck in classrooms learning about paperwork and history. We were so desperate for fun that we even snuck onto the obstacle course just to relieve us of our boredom. We were so tired of being treated like we were inferior, so 5 of my friends and I decided to prove them wrong. We grabbed our combats. I borrowed a starter pistol while the others had thunder flashes. We were going to breach the headquarters. Suffice to say, we lacked a plan. I ran to the side of the building where the entrance was, with the help of 3 other women that threw thunder flashes to divert the attention away. I was in, but I had no clue what to do, until a bored master corporal dropped a cigarette and suggested that I steal a truck. But I didn't know how to drive a deuce and a half, so I got a corporal to drive while I fired my starter pistol at anyone challenging us while we drove away. The 6 of us appeared in front of the colonel in charge the next day. I thought for sure I would be kicked out of the military, my sponsorship gone. Instead, the corporal and master corporal got charged for stealing a truck and disrupting the exercise.
I learned 3 things from that night. 1, there were different rules for lower ranks and officers. 2, no matter how limited a role the Canadian military was going to give me, I wanted to stay. And 3, I could do it, regardless of what holds me back. Oh, and yes, I did end up learning how to drive a deuce and a half, in case you were wondering.